Huge thank you to Toyota of Naperville for letting me borrow the car in this video. Toyota of Naperville is one of the largest Toyota dealers in Illinois, ready to find the right car for you. Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 2023 Toyota Camry Hybrid. Up front is a 2.5 liter inline 4 as well as an electric system, and down below is an eCVT. Now, I am super excited to be driving this Camry Hybrid for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's actually been a couple years since I've driven a modern Camry. And so I'm always excited to sort of re-up my knowledge, see what's changed, and reaffirm what I thought previously, or maybe formulate some new ideas. The second reason is the fact that I haven't done a hybrid Camry before. So definitely some new stuff on the channel, which is always my key goal. But before we get on to anything else, I have a website, zackprato.com, where you can buy stickers and other merchandise when it becomes available. You could also submit your own vehicle to be reviewed by me through a quick and easy submission form, and you get a video of your car just like this one. And you could read my behind the scenes blog to see what I'm filming before it comes out on the channel. But let's get back to that hybrid system under the hood. Well, the gasoline engine is the 2.5 liter inline 4 that Toyota has used for a long time. You could get the Camry with this engine and not the hybrid system, just the 2.5 liter inline 4. However, when you do pair the electric motor to it, it makes 208 horsepower, which is a pretty good number. But you can also go up to the V6 if power is really your biggest concern. Like I said, paired to it is an eCVT. It's fine, it does the job, and I would fully expect that out of a hybrid vehicle. Last but not least, the hybrid Camry is front-wheel drive. However, they do sell an all-wheel drive Toyota Camry if that's something you would like to seek out. And that really reminds me of the all-track days of the 1990s. But this is just the front-wheel drive that I'm showing you today. So how does it feel to actually drive the hybrid Camry? Well, it's not anything crazy or special. There is a quite noisy switchover from the gasoline engine to the electric motor. It's not really smooth or seamless. However, it doesn't jolt you, it doesn't throw you out of the car. It's just noticeable when it does switch between the drive modes. Is that a bad thing? Not at all. The driving experience besides that is pretty normal. Drives like a normal Camry. I have good visibility. The ride isn't super soft, but it's not also back-breakingly hard. Steering's good, pedal feels good. Overall, it's a very middle-of-the-road experience. Not really being blown away in any category, but I also don't strongly dislike any category. And that's a good place to be for a car. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have two physical gauges and a screen. Off to the left, this is basically my tachometer, but it's charge, eco, and power. So it kind of tells you what the drivetrain is doing, and I really like that. And of course, coolant temperature is built into that. And off to the right, I have my speedometer and fuel. And in the center, I get my very classic, very typical Toyota information gauge. I'm swiping through a couple things here. It does have a decent amount of colors, which I always like to see. The more colors, in my opinion, the more expensive the screen feels, or the more premium a screen feels. So I definitely like that. And then moving on to the steering wheel. Off to the left, we have the selectors for that center screen, as well as phone options, volume, and voice commands. And off to the right, I have my adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, pre-collision warning, and skip track selectors. The overall steering wheel feels nice. It is wrapped in leather, so it's not that economy plastic that some base model Toyotas have, and I think it looks modern enough. Off to the left, I do have a climate control vent, automatic high beams, traction control, and my trunk release. And then moving out of the door, I have my power mirrors, power locks, and power windows. Moving into the center, we do have a little infotainment system. This is now Toyota's a little bit more dated system, just in the fact that the Corolla has gotten the new system, the Sequoia has gotten the new system, the Tundra has gotten the new system. So by modern standards, this now looks older, albeit it's not a bad system in the slightest. I do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, navigation, things like that. And here's what the backup camera looks like. Not groundbreaking, and definitely does the job. Then I have two climate control vents and the hazard switch, and then the climate controls themselves. I do have dual zone, which is very nice. Of course, fan speed, AC, where to send it, and all of those goodies. And then I get a giant cubby down below, and up above that we have the USB as well as a 12-volt outlet. Love the extra storage space you get here in the Camry. Moving on to the center console, off to the left, I have my shifter. Very, very typical Toyota shifter. I've come to know and love it. Basic, but it does the job, and it looks presentable, so I have no complaints. And then we have a bunch of buttons. So we have a couple of drive modes we can utilize. Eco, that's going to push efficiency. Normal, which is going to be a good middle ground. And then Sport, of course, is going to be a sportier driving experience. And we also have EV mode. Then we do have brake hold and the power parking brake. And then off to the right, we do have cup holders. So we will do a big friggin' bottle test here in the 2023 Toyota Camry Hybrid. And unfortunately, it fails. I expected it to fail. No real surprise here. Most vehicles in this segment do fail. So par for the course. Then I have two USB chargers in the center console. The center console itself is rather large, and I like seeing that. And then we got to talk about the seats. The seats are leather. They are decently nice, and they're pretty to look at, and they're not hurting my back, which is all I can ask for from a vehicle like this. It's not going to have massage. It's not going to have a hot stone setting, but they work. And Toyota is very good at making things that just work. Speaking of seats, however, let's hop in back and we'll do a backseat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2023 Toyota Camry Hybrid, and a couple of things to note. First of all, space back here is actually really good. My knees are not hitting the seat in front of me. Head's not hitting the ceiling. That's a big advantage of buying the Camry over the Corolla. You get a lot more space. However, once I am back here, the features are rather Spartan. Now, I'm not expecting a drink cart to come down the aisle right after takeoff, but I don't get vents back here. I would have liked to have seen that. I do get a center console with cup holders, but that's pretty much it. I don't really get anything else besides that. So this isn't a fully spec'd out Camry. That's another part of the reason why I want to review it, is because reviewers always get, as press cars, the most decked out versions. And I like reviewing middle of the road, affordable versions of cars. So some of the sacrifices you'll get are not many features back here. However, speaking of space and things like that, let's hop out. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. All right, so we're on the back of the Camry Hybrid. Press and hold, and it'll pop the trunk up like that. Then you just have to lift it the rest of the way. Now, of course, this is a used vehicle, so the floor mats are in the trunk to keep them squeaky clean for the next owner. But the actual trunk space is pretty good. What I would expect out of a bigger sedan like this. And I can pull this up, and we do get a toolkit, and you can see the spare tire down there. So some pretty nice packaging from Toyota. Overall, nice trunk space. Don't get any crazy amenities. However, I can lower the second row of seats off of these little buttons. Other than that, nothing crazy, but definitely very useful. Now we got to talk about the looks, and this is what really drew me to this particular Toyota Camry Hybrid, and that's the fact that this is actually the Nightshade edition, meaning it gets blacked out accents and these sweet, sweet bronze wheels. I was so attracted to these bronze wheels when I saw it come up on their website. I think they're fantastic. These are stock factory wheels on a Toyota Camry. Let me show you what the factory wheels on a Toyota Camry looked like at the end of the 80s. Little hop and skip away from what they're putting on now. Now, of course, these are an option and not the base model wheels, but I think they look so fantastic, and I think this Camry, in its Nightshade appeal, looks amazing. We need cooler looking hybrids. In all reality, we really need a TRD Prius, but I'll accept cool looking hybrids in the meantime, and this is definitely a good looking car. However, I do want to point out that I wanted these bronze wheels and the hybrid, and this is what Toyota had on their lot. However, there were other hybrids in these two cool blue colors that I would probably honestly pick for my own personal car. I think those colors are awesome. I'm not a big fan of black cars. I think they always kind of look dirty, and taking pictures of them is very, very hard because they're so dark. You kind of lose some of the details. But I had to review one with these wheels. I just couldn't see it any other way, and so this was my only option. But now, with all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving a Camry Hybrid? Well, as I've mentioned, I've reviewed plenty of Camrys in the past. Let me do a little demo reel of the vehicles I've driven. I've driven a lot of the generations, but I haven't driven this generation in quite some time. It's been probably at least 2 or 3 years. Have my thoughts changed? Not in the slightest. The Camry is still a very, very good option when it comes to needing an automobile, and the hybrid only helps that out. I've said this before, and I'll say this until my dying breath. Toyota does not make very crazy cars. Modern Toyotas somewhat lack character. Now, that character has been revamped a little bit with these wheels and spoiler and things like that. But on average, Toyotas aren't very interesting. However, they work really, really well. In the same way that a spoon or fork or knife is uninteresting, but gosh darn it, are they not good at shoveling food into my mouth? Couldn't do it without you guys. Shout out to all the forks, spoons, and knives watching the video. That's how I feel about this car. No one in their right mind has ever bragged about owning a Camry, and no one has ever showed up at the red carpet and gotten the photographer's attention in a Toyota Camry. But there are people that have had Toyota Camrys go 100,000 miles, 200,000 miles, 300,000 miles, and onward. And so you take a vehicle that doesn't have much personality, doesn't really have much character to it, and you toss these wheels on. You give it the Nightshade package. Well, now there's something to talk about. Now there's something to look at. Flava Flav was nothing before he put the clock around his neck. And these wheels, well, those are some shiny bronze clocks. I like the Camry. I love the Camry. I think it's a really, really solid choice. It's one of the best-selling vehicles in America, and I understand why. It just does the job. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Toyota of Naperville for letting me take out their hybrid at Toyota Camry. I was so excited to re-up my thoughts and feelings about this car. Toyota of Naperville is absolutely awesome. I can't stop singing their praises. We've been working together for 4 years, almost 5 years, and they've been absolutely awesome the entire time. I cannot thank them enough. Their customer service is great, and you should do yourself a favor and stop in. They have tons of Camrys on the lot too. So if you're looking for a Camry, they're definitely the place to go. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.